to prepare over the next several hours.
All right, Angela, thanks so much. We're going to keep it right here with you. And, you know, as the rain is moving in, a lot of people are taking notice and getting ready, and that includes state and local leaders who are preparing for potential impacts.
Our live team coverage continues tonight with Ella Rhodes. She's live on the north side of Indy. Ella, we heard some rumbles of thunder downtown here within the last few minutes. What are you seeing up there?
Yeah, the rain has been pretty light. We're on Broad Ripple Avenue and Compton Street. Lane pretty light but consistent. Take a look though at the intersection here. It's already pooling up with water, so that's something drivers need to be super careful about, because as the weather gets worse, situations like that will also get worse. And DPW says they are prepared for all of these kind of conditions and damages, especially when stuff happens, when, you know, power goes out at an intersection. They need to know about it so they can get to those lights. Oh, you can see someone is running through this weather, not stopping them. They're getting their exercise in. But it's really important to report those things to the mayor's action line, DPW says, so they can get to it. Here's what they had to say.
Very important that people, help report issues that they see, like if power is out at an intersection. It's very important that that gets noted, because in that case we need AES to restore power for an area, and after power is restored, then it goes to blinking lights at an intersection. Once the lights are blinking, then Indy DPW can be dispatched out to repair those.
DPW says they're really prepared for anything and to reach out to them when you see something, just to stay vigilant as severe weather makes its way toward Indianapolis. Now, I do want to toss it over to Rich Nye, who's with the State Emergency Operations Center. Rich?
Yeah, Ella, I know you've been in this room. We are in the state of Indiana safe spot, if you will. This is the State Emergency Operations Center. We're in the basement of the Indiana Government Center South, and this is where the Indiana Department of Homeland Security keeps track of things and is ready to deploy resources from all of the state agencies if needed, if we have storm damage tonight. Now, you may be looking around and saying, where is everybody? Well, tonight most of the personnel is meeting virtually to keep track of these storms. The room is mostly empty except for myself and a few reporters, but each of these cubicles that you see represents an agency that's part of a team ready to respond tonight as needed.
So this is where we have that broad view of the state. We're watching those counties. We're listening to what they need, how they're responding, if there's damage, and then providing those resources from our partner agencies, Department of Transportation, State Police, Department of Natural Resources, Red Cross. All those folks will either be in this room or available as those resources are requested. So we're going to monitor things obviously through the rest of the day, and then potentially into the nighttime if conditions play out the way that we're worried they might.
The State Emergency Operations Center is ready to respond if we have that storm damage tonight, and really ready to hear from local counties. This is where they call in and contact if they've got serious situations where they need help from the state. You can see all the monitors in this room behind me, keeping track of that information, including that we are certainly right now at a level 3 activation for staffing for emergency management, and that means emergency conditions. The highest level would be a level 1. So we're on standby tonight. Right now it's very quiet, and that's a good thing, but we've just been warned by Angela that the worst is probably to come.
All right, I know you'll keep an eye on it. From there, Rich, thank you very much. And we're also getting some insight tonight into how those local emergency management agencies, the counties, decide when and when not to actually sound the sirens.
Yeah, so you might hear the siren and you're like, okay, I hear the siren. What does that mean? Well, this is from the Hamilton County Emergency Management Agency. They say the sirens you hear are only going to sound during a tornado warning, a tornado emergency, or a destructive thunderstorm warning.
So Angela's back here now with a closer look at what exactly these designations mean. So help us out.
I'm going to help you out. First and foremost, outdoor sirens, they're that. Only for outdoor use, even though sometimes you can hear them inside. And it gets a little confusing because some communities, if there's a tornado watch and a regular severe thunderstorm warning, the sirens will sound. And it honestly depends on what community you live in. But I thought I'd break down what all these warnings mean. If it's a severe thunderstorm warning, that means 1/4 inch hail up to 58 miles per hour, and may may or may not have the sirens sound if you're under severe thunderstorm watch, but the sirens can sound sometimes if you're under a tornado watch. Considerable severe thunderstorm warning, golf ball size hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds. Destructive, and we found this out from the emergency managers in Hamilton County that you just mentioned. They will sound the sirens on a destructive severe thunderstorm warning, and we had one, I lose track, a few months back, and all of us here in the studio, our phones went off. They will go
remember it
off.
well.
Remember it?
Yeah.
Those will go off. Your phones will go off for a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. Speaking of phones, make sure they're charged.
Yeah, that's really, really good tip.
Really important.
Yeah, and we were talking about people are afraid to go down to the basement because they're watching on their TVs upstairs and they might not have a TV in the bathroom that they go to or the basement that they go to. And that's where the phone really makes the difference.
Yes.
You can keep watching on your phone, and if it's charged, you're going to know what's happening.
And you will see that on our live streaming app. That's free. You'll also see it on YouTube and Facebook. So if you happen not to have the app, don't worry. Put us up on Facebook, put us up on YouTube. You will get that information even if you're in your safe place.
Thursday night, when we had that round of severe weather, my son and I were driving up I-65. We had the stream on.
Okay.
To help us figure out, okay, do we need to pull over? Do we need to take shelter? It was a great help, and we didn't have to worry about losing radio station frequencies.
Sure. Yeah.
Because we had the stream.
You know, Angela, you've been tracking this. You've been seeing this coming. We're here now. I mean, just really, are you worried? Are you concerned?
We're a little concerned just because we think the wind field that sets up will outweigh the fact that we've had rain. If you've watched any of our severe weather coverage over the years, you know, okay, sometimes we get rain that stabilizes the atmosphere. We don't think that's going to be the case. Even though we've had rain a good part of the afternoon, the wind field we think will overcome that, and we will be dealing with tornado warnings.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. We know you'll be
it with
watching.
you.
You got it.
Every minute of it. Thank you.
And, you know, this is a great time just to realize and remember and use this resource, the stream of live local radar. You can do it 24/7. You can watch the storms as they come in around the clock.
That's right. You can watch it whenever you want. It is a free download. You look for the WTHR streaming app on your TV and on your phone as well.